You are listening to the Disney Dream Girls, an unofficial Disney theme parks podcast, and this is show number 298 for Sunday, the 2nd of February 2020.
Where dreams begin.
Hello and welcome to the Disney Dream Girls. My name is Michelle Young, and together with my jolly good chum Jane Phipps, we are your guides to the place where dreams begin. Hi Janie.
Hello there, Michelle, and how are you?
Putting life into perspective, I would say.
Oh, it's a little bit deep for a Dream Girls podcast, love.
It's incredibly deep. I had some sad news last weekend that my cousin, who literally was more like my big brother, as our families were so close when we were growing up, suddenly passed away at the age of 49.
It's no age, is it?
It's not. And it was unexpected, and I was really, really upset. I still am. I think it's really difficult to sort of get my head set into the right frame when I think that people I know are passing away at such a young age when that's just a year older than I am.
Yeah, it's kind of scary at the moment. Both of us have kind of experienced quite a little bit of loss of the late in the last, I don't know, 6 to 8 weeks. It's not just us personally, but I know, friends and people that have lost people. It just seems to be, I think we're probably just getting to that age or something. I don't know what it is, but it does make you stop and smell the roses a little bit, and new perspective on what to do, when to do, and how to do it.
Or stop and book another Disney trip.
Well, that was a euphemism for that, basically, Michelle, yeah.
Yeah, basically, because I'm sorry, why should I work my socks off to retire at 68 when I might not reach 68? So
I know, yeah.
Anyway, away from the morbidity and I'm able to compartmentalise. I'm here to do a podcast, and I'm not going to be all doom and gloom.
Nope.
So we're going to have a little bit of a chat about our good friends who had a bit of truck getting on Rise of the Resistance. Then we're going to talk a little bit about the Festival of Holidays, which I was able to enjoy, or was it endure, when I was in Disneyland. And then we're going to do some daydreaming about the delicious food and drinks that are available at the Festival of the Arts in Walt Disney World.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's a balanced show because we've got some attraction talk and a great big smorgasbord of grub.
Yeah, so not like us, Michelle, is it?
Absolutely. So I suppose I am now going to read what my lovely friend Jane Wood posted on her Facebook, and I did ask Jane for permission to share it. So she posted this on Saturday the 25th. Our saga of the Rise of the Resistance. We arrived at the park and were inside by 7:30am for an 8am opening. At exactly 8am we both tried to get boarding groups. Jim got to the screen where he could choose get a boarding group, but kept getting error messages. Luckily I was able to get a boarding group, and that was number 84. Not great, because up to 83 you're pretty set. 84 and above, you are one of the alternate groups which may not get to ride. Nevertheless, we went about our day and enjoyed the park while keeping an eye on the progress of the groups. We got notice at 5:30pm that our group was boarding. We got in line immediately. At 6:30 we were just about to board the transports when the ride went down. They escorted us out and gave us fast passes to use when and if the ride came back up again. We had dinner, we visited the tiki room, we kept checking the app, and they were boarding again. Back to Batu we head, and got into what would be the fast pass line. We got right to the room where BB-8 hides out, got into the vehicle and through the attraction, and about 20 feet from where the good stuff begins, the ride went down again. After a couple of minutes, they turned the lights on, and then a little later they came to walk us off. But they gave us another fast pass for when and if the ride went back up again. We grabbed dessert, we watched the fireworks, and headed back to check the status. They had the groups waiting in 2 areas. People returning and the people whose groups had been told to board. They started to move us and scanned our tickets at 10 p.m. This time there were no issues. We made it through the entire ride. 5 hours from the time we got the notice to originally board. So I'm guessing if she got the notice at 6:30, this was 11:30 at night. The experience is fantastic. And each time we've tried to get on and gone through the process, we notice something new each time. What do you think?
Yeah, I must admit, it was a bizarre coincidence. I was watching a YouTube video this morning, and it must have been the same day, actually, because the chap was talking about how he'd been there and he got to the park and how much busier it was. He'd been fortunate enough to ride it the weekend before, on opening weekend, but then was saying that the following weekend, the 25th, I think, how much busier it actually was, and talking about how early in the morning you've got to be there, to be in the park for 8 o'clock, to get that boarding group number come up. He was unfortunate. He got something like boarding group 127 or something like that. So he knew instinctively that he probably wasn't going to get on that day. And I actually saw a bit of video footage, and it would be around about the time that Jane was talking there about realising that there was groups later on at night that were groups of boarding groups that had been called because it was their slot, plus another lot of people waiting, which obviously were these fast passes that had been issued sporadically out throughout the day when the ride had gone down. So it was interesting, actually. I can visualise exactly what she's talking about. And it must be highly frustrating to go in and not get on and be so close yet so far to it all. But just thankful that they managed to ride it in its entirety on that day. And I suppose great experience that you've got there, great experience from Disney issuing out the fast passes when things aren't going 100% right. You're in Disneyland anyway, so therefore, worst case scenario, you have something to eat, you ride all the rides, don't you? It's going to be a good day no matter what. So, and I think it's a new ride. You're going to have to expect that it ain't going to be perfect every time. It's a real bummer if that's your only day you can make it. And he actually said to Simon this morning, said that's the beauty of us guys when we go out to whether it's LA or to Disney World. At least Brits, we're going out for an extended period of time. We know that if we don't strike it lucky the first day, we're going to have multiple choice at times to get lucky and get on that ride. But if you've only got one day because you live in the States and you've maybe only got a 2 or 3 day trip and you don't make it on that day that you've chosen to go to Hollywood Studios or whatever it may well be, then it must be a real bummer for you that you've missed out. This is a virtual queue. At least you're not having to literally stand in line for hours and hours upon end.
And it is nice to see that Walt Disney World have brought in a fast pass that you can now book from mid-February, so that you don't have to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning when you're out, in all intents and purposes, on holiday.
Well, yeah, there is that sort of bit of a cruel kick, isn't it? I'm on my vacation. I want to chill out. Oh my goodness, I've got to get up at what time to get a ride?
Yeah, I know. So I thought that was quite interesting. So
we're looking forward to riding it though, I must admit, because I've not heard anybody, say a bad thing about it. It does sound like an amazing experience.
I cannot wait. Roll on August.
Look at you.
Yes. Very exciting. So we're going to talk back a little bit now about the Festival of Holidays over at Disneyland, and I was very lucky to indulge, and I didn't at the time think I'd indulged a great deal, but when I look at the list I'm kind of thinking I probably did.
Did it all just go by so fast, Michelle, that you can't remember?
Yeah, it really did. Now this year, or should I say last year, it started on the 8th of November and ran till the 6th of January. It is scheduled to come back at the end of 2020. I think it's just the right size of a festival. That there was just enough to tantalise but not overwhelm.
Right.
And one thing that I noticed this year that they did differently is they have all these kiosks around DCA, but you could go up to any till and order what you wanted, and they then gave you a receipt, and then you could use that to go to the actual kiosk you wanted to get your food from.
All right. Okay. Yeah.
So you could basically use the little tasting passport that they have all over the park, choose what you wanted, order all your items there, and then just go and visit each booth in turn as you're ready to taste.
Okay.
Now, I got myself one of these sip and savour passes, which gave you 8 little items that you didn't really need money for, because you just handed over your pass, they broke off a token, and it was paid for up front.
Okay, that's quite cute.
It was. Slight downside, because I purchased mine over the Christmas period. They hadn't got the correct nice jazzy lanyard and buttons that people got when they purchased it earlier on in the season, but it is what it is. Never mind. But yeah, so I thought I'd just go through a few of the items I was able to try and see what you think, basically.
Okay.
They had a reimagined beef Wellington.
Right.
Shelley says, stop mucking with classics.
I wondered if you were going to say that. I'm a bit trepidatious when they say reimagined or deconstructed.
Yeah, it was basically a puff pastry Mickey shape filled with the beef Wellington.
Mm-hmm.
It was delicious, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't a beef Wellington. And I know it's a reimagined beef Wellington, but it didn't really have all the flavours that I would imagine. It was a good beef stew.
Right, okay.
But I just think they wanted to make it sound posh, because if you see beef Wellington on a menu, you know, it's normally quite a pricey thing because it's a good cut of beef and it's slow cooked, and it's an art form to make good beef Wellington, to make sure the beef's cooked properly. Holiday Mickey and Minnie cookies, they were delightful.
Very cute.
Very cute. Shrimp and grits with andouille sausage.
Ooh, okay. How was that?
Do you know what? This was the one dish that I didn't just have once, I didn't have twice, but I had it thrice.
What? Must have been all right then.
It was amazing. And do you know, normally I moan about grits. I moan. But this was amazing. The grits were buttery. The shrimp, I think I had 3 shrimp, and there were big chunks of the sausage. It was amazing. Really good. Another one that was a highlight was the braised pork belly adobo with garlic fried rice.
Ooh.
So those were some of my top tips on the meaty side.
Right.
I did try a beverage.
Did you know? Alcoholic or non-alcoholic?
Non-alcoholic.
Ooh.
I tried 3.
Ooh.
I had a churro toffee and cold brew with toffee crumbles. Oh my word, it was basically a cold coffee with this big cream thing on top, and the coffee tasted of churro toffee.
Ooh, okay.
It was amazing. But it was so sweet with this cream on top. I literally couldn't drink it all, but it was so good. Then there was the S'mores frozen chocolate milk with house-made toasted marshmallow infused whipped cream. The marshmallow cream was amazing. The chocolate milk, yeah, not so, yeah. And I also had some pomegranate cranberry juice cocktail thing without alcohol, and that was okay.
Very festive flavours.
Very festive. And the last item I have not yet mentioned was the hot cocoa marshmallow macaron.
Oh, now you like a good macaron, Michelle.
I love a good macaron, and that was a pretty good macaron. And, I've missed off one thing, and this was the flop of the holidays.
Oh, right, okay. That's probably why you missed it off. Go on, then.
Well, yeah, because I looked at the picture and I thought, oh my God, that looks absolutely amazing. I have got to try that. And I kept walking past it and I thought, oh, I'm a bit full, I can't fit it in, I've got no room for it. I eventually did, and it was the caramelised apple cake with Greek yoghurt, creme anglaise and caramel sauce. Pathetic. It looked nowhere near like the picture. I was a bit disappointed with that. There was barely any creme anglaise at all. It was quite dry. The cake wasn't brilliant. So,
Well, I was just going to say, Michelle, because obviously you've sent me a photo, and I'm looking at the photo going, is that meant to be the same thing?
I know. Well, I took a picture of it by the picture just to sort of prove my point. So, guys, if you want to have a look at the pictures of all the delicious foods that I was able to eat, if you pop on over to DisneyDreamGirls.com, we will have a blog popping up in the not-too-distant future with all the yummy pictures of the food. I'm hoping this festival comes back. It's not just food. They do all sorts of other things with regards to the holidays. And my favourite was Viva Navidad.
Ah, yeah.
And the music, the costumes, the dancing, the songs, amazing. If you pop on over to our YouTube page, Disney Dream Girls, I believe there's a video on there. I haven't yet put up this year's version, but yeah, I loved that. And there were some nice little touches along the way that celebrated all the different types of holidays that happened through November and December.
Oh, nice to say that it's encompassing, all holidays as well.
Yeah, it does. It truly does. And there was lots of photo opportunities. I got to meet Clara Bell Cow in her cool outfit.
Ooh.
Very colourful. Lots of fun.
Cool.
We can't talk about food festivals without mentioning the one that's actually taking place right now.
Yeah, this is over at Epcot with their International Festival of the Arts. I hadn't realised it's only been going since 2017. I don't know why. I think it's because there's that many different festivals going on. You presume it's been going on forever. And it's not. Now, it's meant to cover 3 artistic disciplines, quote. So we've got the culinary, which I can never say that word, visual and the performing arts. So the idea is that it's encompassing all these types of things. So not only have you got the food aspect of it, you have actually got what I would term to be the art aspect of it. And I have to say there's been some amazing chalk drawings. Don't know if you've caught any of them, Michelle. Some of these 3D effects they do on the pavement. There's a fabulous one where a guy has done and I must try and find the guy's name. It's of a scene from like Aladdin, like a street scene, like the bazaar. And the effect that he's got on this artwork, I just don't know how or where you would start to plan it, because the shot that they've taken of the chalk work from the wrong angle, it just looks like a mishmash. And then you take it from the right angle and it's 3D. And I'm like, how do you do that? That is like amazing. But yeah, so over at Epcot, you've got this annual festival. So there's lots of food options and you've got lots of artists around and about. So lots of hands-on workshops, things like that for you to be doing. But of course, Michelle and I, we kind of get distracted by the food, don't we?
We do indeed love it. And I always have to try and find some positivity where Disney gives something away for free. Well, when you go and order an item, make sure you get the staff to stamp your booklet that is freely available. And when you purchase 5 separate snack items, and each one is at a different festival booth, and I think there's 5 specified, you get the stamp, and when you've had all 5, you can get a small glass of strawberry milk at Decadent Delights and a cookie.
Yay!
Yeah.
We're easily pleased, aren't we?
We are. But obviously you've got to probably spend somewhere in the region of $35 to get that item.
Yeah, and I suppose the big hint is if you're going to be using your dining plan, make sure you use it wisely, guys.
Yeah. Don't be spending your dining credits on $4 items. Make sure you're hitting them. Get the $8 plus.
Because there's some good ones out there to get, isn't there?
There is indeed, and we're talking about the food journey, so why not? Let's put on a little bit of audio. We actually recorded this the other night for our Patreon supporters, and we've edited the conversation down a little bit, so you guys get to hear a little bit of what they get on a more regular occurrence. So here's Jane and I talking a little bit about Festival of the Arts.
Where dreams begin.
So I'm going to start at the artist's table.
Good place to start.
And they've made a beef Wellington with mushroom bordelaise, fennel cream and roasted baby vegetables. This is $8.25 and it's one of the most expensive one. But if you are on the Disney dining plan, get this because it is the bestest value. It is brill.
Because I must admit, I was looking at the, they also do the pan-seared scallop with the chorizo, roasted red pepper coulis and a parmesan crisp, and that's $7 again, and it's a snack credit as well.
But it's that word, scallop.
Well, what's wrong with scallop?
Singular, not scallops.
Yeah, but they are tastes, aren't they?
I know, but I want about 6. I love them.
Well, buy 6 then.
I can't afford 6 at $7 a pop.
Does look nice though.
Very flavoursome as well.
Mm.
Where are you heading to next? Same place or are you going somewhere different?
Mine was going to be the pan-seared scallop, but I shall move on one. Is it deconstruction dish? I think it's called, isn't it? So this is all where you've got those sorts of standard things that they're going to slice apart and split across your plate and call it deconstructed because deconstructed's a trendy phrase.
And it's arty-farty.
Yeah, is that just me being a bit cynical? I think out of all 3 offerings, the one that I'm kind of going for is the deconstructed BLT. What are you laughing for?
Because that's what I've chosen.
Oh, yeah, but you see, basically, it's bacon. All right, it's crispy pork belly, posh bacon. Tomato jam, well, actually tomato, and poached egg. Bacon, tomato, and egg. There's nothing to dislike about that, is there?
Nothing at all. It sounds absolutely delightful. And who can't be a little bit of soft poached egg?
You know what, though? I was intrigued with the strawberry cheesecake as well.
I put that down as well. We so know each other.
But can I just say, it sounded better when I read it than when I saw the picture.
Basically, when you deconstruct it, there ain't much left.
It doesn't look much, does it? That's not just me, is it? It just kind of looks a bit like a bit of plonk of cream in the middle and a couple of strawberries chopped up and a bit of biscuit, and it kind of like, oh, right, okay. Whereas actually, the description makes it sound all very lush and whatever.
Can I just also say on that menu, it has the most ridiculous item I've ever read on a menu.
Go on then.
A deconstructed breakfast.
Yeah.
Twining spiced apple chai tea shake. Mm. So basically it's a shake with maple syrup, a waffle crisp and a candied piece of bacon.
Or you could have bourbon in it to have the alcoholic one.
But who in the right mind would pay $4.50 and a Disney dining credit for that? $4.50 when you could get that beautiful beef welly for over $8.
Yeah, yes. No. Just the thought of it, actually. Chai tea in a shake. I don't know. I'm not a big chai person anyway.
And bacon and a waffle crisp. I tell you, that's going to cause my stomach a little bit of anxiousness.
Yeah, it does feel a bit wobbly, doesn't it?
Yeah. Go on, what's next, love?
Let's go over to Pop Eats. What grabbed my attention from the description, okay, was the almond frangipane cake. It's you as well, isn't it?
Yes.
We're so alike. Laid with raspberry jam and Belgian chocolate. Now, the reason this jumped out at me, because I know it's got the chocolate on, but almond frangipane and raspberry jam just screamed out to me Bakewell tart. I know there's no pastry, but it's those classic Bakewell tart flavours, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I love the Bakewell tart flavours. I love that almond and the jam. I thought, add a bit of chocolate in. We're well on the way to like perfection. And then I saw the picture. What is going on with all the colours?
Well, it's a Mondrian thing, isn't it?
I know, but why? Because that just puts me off. I like the idea of what I thought I got in my head, not what was on the plate.
But the thing is, it's an art festival, so they've got to do it arty-farty. And this is the second year for this cake. And seemingly, you just have to eat it, Jane, and close your eyes and not look at the colours. Because the colours, yeah.
Although, I point out, so a close second is the cocktail.
Go on, what's your cocktail?
The popping bubbles cocktail, because I'm intrigued because I want to drink something that's got popping things in it. And it's got those boba bubble things by the looks of the pictures. That's what I'm guessing they are. And I do struggle with those because we've had them a few times over here, and I've gone, oh, and I'm a bit like, oh, is that it? So, but it's got alcohol in it, so it might, persuade me that they're all right.
And I've gone down the non-alcoholic route, and I've gone with the Blue Sky Black Cherry Boba Freeze, $4.50. That to me sounds really good because I love the black cherry sodas, and I don't really drink soda, but because it's in a freeze and it's bobbery and...
Yeah. I must admit, something that wouldn't appeal to me as a drink at all, but I think is presented really well, is that tomato soup can, the Bloody Mary. And I love the decal they've got on the little drink cup. I think it's quite cute and everything, but I wouldn't buy it just because of that. But I do think it deserves a shout out for how it's presented. But it wouldn't be my thing at all.
I first started going out drinking. The first drink I used to have as an alcoholic beverage was a Bloody Mary.
Really?
Yeah. Which I think for a 16-year-old, that is quite a decadent choice of...
Yeah.
Because it's quite a mature person's drink, I would normally say.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because I remember some of the first things that I used to order when I was going out at similar sort of age would be port and lemon. So port and lemonade. Now that's quite an old person's drink as well, isn't it?
Yeah, but the sad thing is we now are old people.
No, we're not. No. You speak for yourself, love. No.
Oh, I saw this meme on Facebook the other day, and it really got me upset. And it was a birthday thing, and it was saying, "Happy birthday, 1971 birthdays. Have you realised next year you'll be 50?" And I was like, "Oh my God, I'm gonna be 50 next year!"
Oi! You do know some of us were born pre-1971.
But it just, seeing it really smacked me in the face and sort of said, oh, I'm going to be 50 next year. I hadn't realised it at all because I certainly don't feel 50.
Can you imagine how I feel, love?
Oh, but you fare a lot better than I do for your years. Anyway, let's go back to the podcast.
Okay, sorry.
Digressing. I'm going to Decadent Delights.
Oh, right, okay. I don't think I've actually looked at that one. Go on then, surprise me. What have you got over Decadent Delights?
I've got a new favourite, chocolate from the States. I've gone off peanut butter Snickers now.
Okay.
And it was something by Reese's Pieces called Take 5. And it's basically a little bar about half the size of my palm. And on the base of it were 2 bits of pretzel, peanut butter, and it's enrobed in chocolate.
Right.
And the saltiness of the pretzel, the peanut butter and the chocolate is a marriage made in heaven.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
I absolutely adore it. And when I read this menu, I thought, do you know what? This is me. And it's the chocolate, peanut butter and pretzel crunch, and it's $6.50.
Well, I'll let you have that one all to yourself because this is where we will differ because I'm not a big peanut butter fan. I don't mind a smidgen, but it's not, peanut butter is not something that would float my boat. It wouldn't be something I'd naturally go for.
Whilst I'm at Decadent Delights, I'm going to have an alcoholic beverage.
Ooh.
Because, what is my surname?
Young.
They have Young's Double Chocolate Stout.
Chocolate stout. And it's from England.
It's from England and it's only $4.50. And I don't mind a Guinness, so I don't mind something that's fairly, malty and dark and rich like this sounds. So, yummy. Where are you next?
I'm going to go down the list a little bit. We're going over to the Masterpiece Kitchen.
I'm having a bet now. You've probably chosen the one I've chosen.
Shall we see? I'm going for the charcuterie palette. Oh, no. With artisan cured meats and cheeses, featuring some applewood smoked beef. Because it's meat and it's cheese, and that just appeals to me from my whole low-carb keto way of eating. If there's meat and there's cheese, Jane's happy. End of.
Yeah.
What were you going to go for then?
I love the sound of it. I just think the description is a bit of a joke.
Okay.
Smoked salmon and cream gâteau. I'm sorry, if I'm going to be sold a gâteau, I want cake and cream. I don't want smoked salmon and cream.
Yeah.
But it comes with egg yolk cream, paddlefish caviar and micro herbs. And don't get me started on what I think of micro herbs.
Looking at the photo, Michelle, and it's just kind of like, it's like a meal fuel thing, isn't it? You know, that lots of little layers.
Yeah.
You know, when they say, like, but I'm not a foodie. You know, by egg yolk cream, do they just mean like scrambled eggs or something? Because that's what it kind of looks like.
Oh, I've gone off it then. No.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. It just looks a bit, how can I put this? It just doesn't look appetising to me at all. It looks a bit mushy. A bit mushy.
I fancy a drink.
Do you?
I'm going to Larat de Mangari.
Ooh.
Apology if I've pronounced that wrong. I'm not an Italian speaker. This is in Italy, and this is my much-loved favourite beverage. It's Amaretto Bellini with Amaretto, white peach puree and Prosecco. $13. Ka-ching, I'm happy.
Well, I'd go for the one underneath that. I'd go for the vodka Rossini, which is vodka, strawberry puree and Prosecco.
Yummy.
We'd be like little drink sisters there, wouldn't we?
We would. Ka-ching!
Yeah.
Ka-ching! Where are you going next?
Japan. Well, I was intrigued by the sushi donut.
I'm sorry now. Let's just stop. A donut cannot be sushi. I'm sorry. If I want a donut, I want carbs. I want sugar. I don't want fish and rice. No. Stop it now. No.
I'm in agreement, Michelle. And then, because this is more for the weirdness of it. And then I was looking at I'm not pronouncing this wrong, taiyaki, which is a fish-shaped cake. So it's cake in the shape of a fish.
Cake is not made from fish.
No, it's not made from fish. It's just fish-shaped. No, listen. Then it's got that red bean filling, so a sweet filling with green tea chocolate and whipped cream cheese. I am intrigued. But when they say sweet red bean, it's not actually that sweet. It's just a weird sort of stuff. I can't even begin to describe it. And see, green tea does nothing for me. So why would you want to spoil chocolate with green tea?
Because you're a madman.
So what I thought was, I'd go for that and try it, expecting not to like it. Yeah? Go with me. But I'd have on the side the Nigori sake cocktail to wash it all down with. Because that looks quite cool. Because it's got like cotton candy on top of it. It looks quite... It's like frozen sake, and it's got strawberry in it, and then there's cotton candy like blob on top of it. So I thought it looked quite like an antidote, because that looks like it's going to be overly sweet to something that's purporting to be sweet, but I've got a sneaky feeling probably isn't. Do you not fancy anything off that menu then, Michelle?
Not at all.
What are you going to go for next then?
Well, I'm going to France, to l'art de la cuisine française.
Ooh.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Michelle. I'm having a frozen French martini, Grey Goose vodka, Chambord, liqueur, pineapple, orange and grape juice with lemon lime foam. $14. Sitting back on some kind of seat somewhere and just watching the world go by.
Well, that's okay, because I'll come and join you, because that's what I would pick off that menu as well.
Perfect. My last but not least is something I have never yet had to myself. Something my much beloved hubster loves. I tried to get a funnel cake this Christmas in Disneyland. I failed miserably.
Right.
But at the American Adventure, you can have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich funnel cake with peanut butter ice cream, marshmallow cream and raspberry glaze. It sounds amazing.
I instinctively looked for the funnel cake and then was disappointed because it's peanut butter. It does look good though. I just wish it hadn't got the peanut butter on it.
But I love peanut butter, so that's a goodie for me.
Yeah.
So that's all I've got on my list, love.
I'm done as well now.
Right, Janie. Well, that's Festival of the Arts. I'm all hungry now. I'm wanting some food, but I'm supposed to be going a little bit more keto to get in shape for my Disney trips coming up, but I'm not doing very well at that.
Why do we always do this, Michelle? We always record prior to eating. We do this always the wrong way around.
I know. We should eat Then Ricard. Anyway, we hope you've enjoyed this week's show. We certainly have enjoyed talking food to you. We're going to try and get some attraction chat, and we've got some interesting guests coming up as well with some odd trip reports and some factual information about other things that are happening in the world of the Disney theme parks. But until next time, it's goodbye from me.
It's goodbye from me.
This podcast is part of the After Dark Podcast Network.